I'm going to tell you what I'm not going to talk to you about. I am not going to talk to you about crisis management or even crisis communication, because you can buy lots of books on that. And your organization and company should have a crisis plan that they can pull off the shelf so that if there is a big event that happens, they know who to call, they know what they're going to do, and who's going to do it. All right? There's lots of those available, so I'm not going to talk about that. What I am going to talk very briefly about is how to predict and prevent a crisis. All right? That's what you need to be doing. A crisis is an event that could destroy or seriously damage your organization. Tornadoes and hurricanes are good examples. Now, tornadoes and hurricanes are hard to predict, but if you live in certain parts of the country, you know that they're possible. All right? I'm building a house in Tennessee. We know that it's possible in Tennessee to have tornadoes. And so in our house, in our basement, we have a room with 4 concrete walls and a concrete ceiling and a big steel door that we can go into in case we have a tornado warning. Now talk about Hurricane Katrina, the worst hurricane we've ever had as far as dollars and damage, and destroyed New Orleans. One year before Katrina hit, National Geographic magazine ran a story about what would happen if a hurricane that size hit New Orleans. It talked about the levees breaking. It showed where the flood would go. And that's exactly what happened. People in this country in the know knew that if a major hurricane hit New Orleans, it would be in big trouble. All right? The people from New Orleans knew it. The Corps of Engineers knew it. People in Washington knew it. And what? They did nothing. They did not spend the money to reinforce and to rebuild and to lift those levees. They did nothing. And so the city gets wiped out. One of the things that disturbs me a little bit, and I don't want to cause a big political stink here, but I don't understand why we went back and built the city in exactly the same place. Because it's lower, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Most crises other than tornadoes and hurricanes, and perhaps an accidental fire, happen because problems that have been laying around don't get solved. All right? They could have been predicted. I can tell you what causes marriages to fail. I have never known a couple. Now, maybe there have been some for immigration reasons, but I have never known a couple that marched down the aisle to get married, stood in front of the justice of the peace to get married, whatever, with the plan to get divorced. That was not their plan. And marriages fail because of alcoholism, money, adultery, breaking the law, drugs. One partner's doing some stuff, the other one, it ruins the whole family. Those are what work conflicts. That's what ruins marriages. We know that. We can statistically show you over and over and over again. And if you're honest, I can come into your family and do a little interview and look around and say, here's why your marriage will fail, if you're honest with me. Same thing with churches. Why do some churches fall apart and fail? And some do. And you can read the history and look at them and say, here's what causes churches to fail, and then you can work to prevent those. You can work to prevent those things from happening. And you can do that business by business. What causes most small businesses in America to fail? Cash flow. All right? You can grow too fast. All right? I'll give you an example. Let's say you're in the business of putting in flooring and countertops and wallpaper in new homes and renovations. Right? You do coverings. You cover the floor, you cover the walls, you cover the countertops. That's what you do. Now, you buy the product. And you buy the installation. You pay the installers. And they expect, when they go out the door, you hand them a check. And the people that sold you that stuff, within 30 days, they want a check. They may want half of it up front. Well, what if you don't get paid for 60 days, 90 days, 120 days? How long can you hold that debt? Most small businesses fail because of cash flow. And they can be told that, and they can study that, and they can know that, and they will still go out and grow too fast and go under. You can go through your company and find out what is most likely to cause a major crisis. It's a simple process to do, and I'm going to tell you how to do it right now. And I mean, it's simple. You go to every single employee, everyone in the company. And if you want to, go to your vendors. Go to your customers. And ask them to list what they think could possibly happen to cause our company to have a major crisis. Make the list. I don't care how long it is. Then, behind each one, put a number from 1 to 10. Ranking how serious this would be. If you put a 1, it's not really very serious. It could happen, but it's not very serious. If it's a 10, if this happens, boy, this is horrible. This is really horrible. What? Now, we've got a list. And we've got a list of how serious they are. And out of that list, we pick those that we think, boy, look, these are all got between 5 and 10 in seriousness. We've got to take a closer look at these issues that are got a number between 5 and 10 behind them. So we make a printed list of all those things. We don't print the number with it, we just make a list. And that list is given to absolutely everybody that participated in making these lists. Everybody that was involved. And we ask them to put a number behind each one from 1 to 10. 1 means they don't really think it'll ever happen. 10 means they think it's going to happen and it may happen very soon. Now we have two lists. We have a list of problems from 1 to 10. We have a list of problems from 1 to 10. So we take problem number 6 on the list. It's a 10 in seriousness, and it's a 10 in probability. It's got a score of 100. 10 times 10. What? We better take a look at this, huh? This, by everybody that knows about us, that works here, does business with us, looks at us, says this will take you down, and it's very probable it will happen. We better take a look at this. Now we better come up with a solution. That's simple. Now I'm saying everybody, I'm including the engineers. The people in Bhopal, India said, you know, if we have a pipe that leaks here and this cyanide goes out, we'll kill 7,000 people or 20,000 people. And sure enough, they did. So we can predict these crises, and then we can do those things necessary to prevent them. Things like 9/11, maybe not. But things like Katrina, you can't prevent the hurricane, but you can make your city more hurricane resistant. You can't keep an earthquake from happening, but you can certainly build your buildings so they are more earthquake resistant. You can't stop a tornado from happening, but you can make your home and place of business stronger and safer. And you can come up with ways to make sure there's no loss of life. Better do it. That's only smart. Thank you.